The world is simple. There's good, there's evil, and there's Batman, black and white. Now, I just pulled that off the back of this book. This is an interesting volume. It's volume 4 of the Batman Black and White series. Why did I pick up volume 4 instead of volume 1? Well, because this one was super thick, it was on clearance, and look at the list of talent on there. There were various artists and writers that I recognized, and I said, this is going to be a nice addition to my collection, particularly Neal Adams, and there was Michael Allred on here. So two of them were ones that I was particularly interested in seeing more of. Now, I'm going to look at a lot of these stories, not all of them. This is going to be a look inside, so it goes deeper than perhaps a review would, and I'm going to use that to showcase more of the art. There's going to be about one picture for each of these stories. I'm going to share 17 out of 30 of the stories in this volume. I think that gives a good look inside, and this is going to be the highlights, the things that stood out to me as being some of the best and most interesting material of the book. So definitely it'll give you a good sample of the work as well, and even if you're not planning to buy this book, then just enjoy the artwork, because this is going to be a showcase of art and talent. So let's take a look inside at the first volume, or the first short story. Now, I should mention, before I go into this, that each story is 9 pages long, so they're very short, so I'll just be giving you like snippets of examples of the writing. So really, you have to read this to get the full effect. Now let's just dive in. Let's look at the first comic here. First short story. Don't Know Where, Don't Know When. Written by Chip Kidd. Art by Michael Cho. Now, this one, I really like his artwork here. It looks great. It's got a bit of a style that has some bold choices, some bold shapes and layout. It looks great. Batman ends up going missing in this story, and it's up to Robin to find him. We get to see Superman in this story too. Very fun. The next one, Neal Adams' Batman Zombie. Now, I really like this one. This is one where it stretches far out of the normal range of Batman storytelling. We see a very different version of Batman that doesn't resemble our crime fighter at all. Zombie Batman is actually helpless to save people. He sits and stands by and watches someone get evicted. He can't. His own body is just deteriorating. We see him here with an inmate who has been sentenced. He got 15 years for being caught with an ounce of marijuana, so bit of a severe, unjust sentence, and Batman's just like, oh no, I can't do anything, I'm Zombie Batman. And the art for Zombie Batman was great. This one was written and illustrated by Neal Adams. He did a great job here. I really enjoyed his work with that. The next one that I'm going to talk about is the story written by John Arcudi and illustrated by Sean Murphy. Now, Sean Murphy, his illustrations look great. I recognize his artwork from Joe the Barbarian, and, you know, it looks great in here, too. It's a similar style. It's hard to describe. I haven't gotten, perhaps, a good enough taste, but you can see here for yourself some of the style choices that he makes in shading and such. And this one centers around a car chase around Gotham with the Batmobile, so we get to see Sean Murphy's Batmobile quite a bit. Really a lot of fun. This one here, Head Games, written by Howard Mackie and Chris Samnee. One thing that I really liked about this story was that it nails Alfred and Batman and Alfred's sort of witty sarcasm. I absolutely loved seeing them interact. I thought it was true to the characters and just a great example of the Batman Alfred aspect of the comics. And you can read it here for yourself. I'd like to move on to the next one, though. Man-Bat Out of Hell, written by Dan DiDio and illustrated by J.G. Jones. Now, J.G. Jones's illustrations, phenomenal. This is some amazing artwork. I love seeing Batman pose up in the tower with the dark silhouette, and then when we see his head, the brilliant realism in J.G. Jones's style. I have not read enough J.G. Jones. This makes me want to see way more. I think J.G. Jones did a Batwoman book that I plan to read at some point. Now it gets even better. Look at these pictures of Man-Bat. Oh my gosh. Like, the friggin' one at the bottom is just stellar. They're all amazing. I love the way J.G. Jones illustrates Man-Bat in this. It looks great. And Batman too. This is definitely some of the best artwork in the book. Like you've already seen, there's phenomenal artwork all over. But really, just 9 great pages of J.G. Jones here. The next one, written and illustrated by Rafael Grampa. We can see Batman here. I just wanted to share this one because I like the way he illustrated Batman with the folds and creases in his cape and cowl. I thought it gave off a very unique take on the character and very effective. I think it suits Batman. It's a little different than what we've seen before, and that's good. He pulls it off well. Definitely enjoyable. And this next one here, written and illustrated by Rafael Albuquerque. It is a Scarecrow story. You can see Batman standing over the Scarecrow story here. I don't really remember what happened in this story much, but there was some sort of a twist to it. I said that in my notes, and I'm having a hard time reading what I read in that section. But yeah, definitely well done by Rafael Albuquerque. Really like his stuff. Now this one was written by Michael Olson and illustrated by Dave Bullock. I thought this one was very cool. It was in the style of an old silent movie, so there were pauses in the story, and then it would cut for a panel into dialogue or a title, like for here, The Batman Rides. So it was interesting, a retro look at Batman. You can see it's a more retro costume. Look at that belt. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, definitely interesting to see. This one here, take a look at that sweet-ass motorcycle. Written and illustrated by Lee Bermejo. Lee Bermejo doing a great job. I am looking so forward to reading Batman Damned illustrated by him. Yeah, and I'm thinking of picking up Batman Noel, maybe for Christmas. I don't know. Anyways, just some sweet artwork and a good story too. Thanks, Lee Bermejo, for that. Let's get on to the next one. Now, this one features Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy. It is written by Paul Dini and illustrated by Stephanie Rue. And Paul Dini, he handled these characters in both Batman the Animated Series and in the comic book series Gotham City Sirens. I enjoyed both of those quite a bit, and it was a good treat to see him take the characters again and throw them into an adventure where they're perhaps not as bad as we have seen them in the past. We see them doing some nicer things. And I thought that this was definitely one of the best stories in the comic book. Very interesting. I love Paul Dini's writing, and this story was no exception. Really shone in this Batman Black and White volume. The next one is written by Nathan Edmondson and illustrated by Kenneth Rocafort. This one here, just wanted to share this. A freaking amazing Batman drawn here by Kenneth Rocafort. I thought it was the best art in the whole entire storybook. Out of all 30 stories, this one just really shone. Here's the title page. It just looks excellent here too. Batman flying spread out, and the panel layout looks great. It's dynamic. It was a really, really well done story. Loved the art. Now this one is the Michael Allred one. I loved the art for it too. It's got a bit more of a retro feel. Looks really good. It is written by Michael Allred and Lee Allred and illustrated by Michael Allred. I don't know what else to say about this other than that I really like Michael Allred's pop art style, and I think it lends itself well to a retro looking Batman. This next one is the Batman and Catwoman sort of just chilling on top of a water silo, written and illustrated by Dustin Nguyen. Now, this one was real nice. I liked this moment. It just felt nice to have the two of them just chilling after, a busy night. And I think that taking a look at the more chill moments in their relationship was nice. We see a lot of action with these characters, and it just had like a nice feel, and it really just fit in well with this volume. Great story. This one was also one of my favorite stories. It might rank above the Paul Dini one. It's pretty surreal. It gets meta, as you can see by there being a panel laid out above the murder victim, a whole comic book page, just the art laid out there. So this one, I Killed the Bat. What is this about? I don't want to give it away. It's really just all about being a strange story. I think that the shock from this panel is just surprising and interesting. Drew me in. Had a retro feel to it. It was a whole lot of fun. Now, this one, Hope by Jimmy Palmiotti and art by Andrew Robinson, was really good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I was not expecting such a optimistic, shall I say, story from Jimmy Palmiotti. I've read some of his other work, like Jonah Hex, and I remember one of his Deathstroke miniseries I particularly enjoyed. And to see him take on Batman in this respect was interesting. It follows Batman as he follows home a gang member who things go for a change when he goes into the Christian Mission Center of Gotham. And Batman's like, what's going on here? And he investigates, and it's really a touching story. It was really nice. Another one of my favorites in this volume. I thought it had such a wonderful tone, and it stayed true to the spirit of Batman. Some of these, like the Neal Adams Batman, are like way out there, and this one like really goes to Batman's core and shows him as somebody that cares about Gotham and the people of Gotham. And real enjoyable story. This next one, written and illustrated by Cliff Chiang, features Clayface as they fight against him. You can see Robin fighting against Clayface here. I love this artwork. Looks great. And everything turns out well. I'm a fan of Cliff Chiang's artwork, and I definitely enjoyed seeing him write and illustrate this. The story was good too. This next one is just a beautiful picture, I thought, by Becky Cloonan. The story was written by Olly Moss. This is about the perspectives of other characters and showing what they think about Bruce Wayne. So it follows two women. I believe this is one of them, featured in the image. And they sort of share their stories about going out with Bruce Wayne. And it's kind of funny to see, like, Bruce Wayne makes an excuse and has to go, we know, as readers, that he's Batman. But, of course, to them, he seems kind of douchey. Anyways, fantastic art here. Thank you for that, Becky Cloonan. That covers it for stories. I just wanted to share with you this Marc Silvestri cover. Now, this was the cover of the book without the text, Batman Black and White. It looks good with that too, but I thought it looked excellent in the full art version. So I enjoyed seeing that, and there were a few covers in the back. I thought that one was the most notable. So, anyways, that's what I thought about. You know what? I'm going to throw in this Amanda Connor one too. Yeah, this Amanda Connor one turned out really well too. and it is actually on the back of the book too. So, yeah, that was Batman Black and White Volume 4. I'm definitely interested in checking out more of the series now. I can say that some of the artwork, when I looked at it, was a little less appealing. Like, for example, this one, because of all the gray tones and stuff, I don't like looking at the gray tones. But the black and white artwork, when it's done well, I do really enjoy. And this I enjoyed way more than I thought I was going to. And I found a lot of info. They write little bits of info on all the artists. Here's a little write-up on Chip Kidd. Here's a little write-up on Michael Cho. And you can see like a little bit of their career, some of their more prominent works, and then you know what to look up. So this has sort of informed me about more artwork that I can pursue at a later time. And for that, I think it's an extra cool volume to have. And definitely a huge list of artists and illustrators. Huge list of talent. And there are even some big name talent characters that I didn't mention, like Jeff Lemire. Did I even mention Jeff Lemire in this one? He was in this volume. I don't think I did. And yeah, so tons of talent in this book. Great book. Thanks for watching. Totally like, comment, subscribe. Leave comments. What do you think is the coolest Batman Black and White in this story? Anyways, I'll be back with more reviews every week. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some more Batman Black and White in here.